for a strike, followed by Reese and Noah Sullivan. Again, the conditions ideal as that one is popped out of play. The flags are sleeping right now at center field atop the large poles here at UFCU Dish Falk Field. Fry, the senior, comes in. You see his numbers there with the 8 homers. He's got 34 runs batted in. And Harrison works ahead 0-2. 1-2. Fry very good, like most of the guys on this team, against lefties. He sits there with a 360 for starter.
Ruben Riojas was good in the starting role yesterday too, which is the state offense. They got to a Texas bullpen, and that doesn't happen very often.
As good a pitching staff as you might find in the country. Here is the junior. Kyle talked about Ace Reese leads the team with 54 RBIs and just about everything else as he's balanced one straight back. And a great start for Harrison, who is a strike thrower. 55 innings, he's allowed 50 hits, 61 strikeouts, 23 walks. The 0-1, that's nearly a hit batter to get out of the way of it. He's got 8 of those this season.
Yeah, he's hit some guys. What he really hadn't done is give up the home run. He's only given up 2 home runs this entire season. Has given up 18 doubles, so there's some extra base hits. They just don't hit it out of the ballpark much.
Yeah, on the 1-1, another one inside, and it is 2-1. Temo Becerra is their third baseman. Adrian Rodriguez is at short. Mendoza Ethan is at second. Casey Borba is at first. 2-1 shaded towards right in the outfield, and it's 3 balls and a strike. And with the outfield, Anthony Pack Jr., who's been so good this year, he's out in left. Maddox Mansour is in center, and Aiden Robbins, who's been in center, has moved over to right as they try to improve maybe some of the foot speed out in the outfield. 3-1 is in there, 3-2. Pick the bat up and start over again.
Pick her up, Ace. Need to have at least one more pitch. Well, for Harrison's usually going to work the top of the zone, and I think this one, if it caught the very bottom of the zone. Ace Reese thought it was low, but his opinion doesn't much matter.
Yes. 3 on the right side, that is ball 4. Now that is his given name, you know, when you say, okay, let's pick that up, Ace. Kind of sounds like you're saying, hey, let's go get that, Ace. But
go
that actually is who he is.
He's Ace.
He's Ace. Strikeout to walk, the 3-hole hitter is Noah Sullivan.
Go.
Sullivan will step in, 333. Chance now with the runner at first. And one thing Ace doesn't do, as well as many others on the team, is run. They're not a huge stolen base team. He's got 1. And a breaking ball, that one just missed. Looked good, 76 miles an hour, but he's behind 1-0 after starting the game off by throwing nothing but strikes to Garrett Fry.
We'll show you 2 different breaking balls. That was the curveball. Slider will be in the low 80s.
In there. Adrian Rodriguez out at shortstop, practicing a throw to second base, anticipating he hopes a ground ball. Texas defense has turned 26 double plays this season. That one lands as well, 1-2.
You can see shape difference and velocity difference on those 2. It was a slider before that time the slow curveball. Both of them start off the play, finish in a spot he can steal back-to-back strikes.
He's gone. That was a 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and that is the definition, as a pitcher would know, of changing eye levels.
Yeah, slow him up, speed him up. And it's exactly what he did right there. So a 76-mile-an-hour curveball before, and then the fastball. It's got a little bit of cut when he gets through it. That was 89 and intentionally cutting in on the right-hander's hands.
And in the land of Bevo, here's Beavis. Blake Beavis, the cleanup hitter, breaking ball away. Out of Brentwood, Tennessee, big fella, 6'4", 230 pounds. 5 home runs on the season. Two balls, no strikes. Ace Reese on first after a walk. Couple of punch-outs so far for Harrison. Big swing, 91. It's 2 balls and a strike. Harrison has been anointed by many because of his age and stature as the leader of this pitching staff, and it's a heck of a staff to lead. On a 2-1. Foul it straight back. To Kyle's point, no real home run threat when it comes to Harrison on the mound, and that's about missing barrels. And he does that really well, even with stuff that's diminished as far as velocity relative to some of the best in the country. Looking for strikeout number 3 here in the top of the first. Will not get it on that one as we go full. They shift and put 3 on the left side of the infield for the payoff pitch. Just missed and walk it off. Thought he had his 3rd strikeout, but instead, down to second goes Ace Reese. The second walk is issued to Beavis.
Look at Carson Tenney after this, too. He thought they had stolen strike 3. He's 2 steps out, ready to throw it down, throw it around to end the inning. Instead, that ball just stayed off the plate. Now 2 walks in the inning for Harrison.
The guy that was the hero last week that sent Duty Noble on its ear, Jacob Parker. Outside, ball 1. Freshman whose brother JoJo, of course, an early round draft pick last year. He's a freshman, and he's got a good hitter's count working now, 2-0.
This kid's had a big-time freshman year, too. I know you saw that moment last weekend.
Unforgettable. Unforgettable.
It was pretty electric atmosphere when he went deep.
He's got Reese out there, and you saw that 461 on base. Big swing, man. He was going for another one of those moments. It's 2-1.
And that's what Harrison has the ability to do, is throw that breaking ball at 2-0 counts, and typical fastball counts. And that time, Parker was reacting to fastball, but got the slider instead.
This one to center field. It is going to get down. Reese is going to be thrown in from 3rd. He'll get there easily, and Jacob Parker delivers an RBI single to make it 1-0 State.
But a weird line. He's walked 3. Every out has been a strikeout. This is 5th strikeout so far. This one on the breaking ball. He's only given up 2 hits, but one was a grand slam when he loaded the bases by walking guys. It's stuff not the issue, just the ability to get out in front. 40 pitches in the first, more efficient here in the second.
Luke wasn't looking at Ace Reese, so he is told you've got to have that eye contact before you can go. I don't know, it's hard. We got shades on, mirror reflectors. I don't know if he's looking at me or not.
He's going to make him wait.
KP, as we do wait, let's remind everybody the SEC softball tournament getting underway Tuesday at 1 Eastern time on the SEC Network. We're going to be live from Lexington, Kentucky. SEC Now will be on at 12:30. All the games from the tournament, of course, available to stream on the ESPN app.
What was it, last year, I believe? Every team in the SEC got into the NCAA tournament. That had never happened before. Texas won the national championship. Softball stadium just out beyond right center field.
Now the hijinks are over, and that one is just below the knees on the 51st pitch. There it is. We got the dish here and Combs Field over there. That is in there for a strike to go 1-1 strike. Where are we on D1 baseball with projections baseball SEC teams? We up to 11, is that what I saw?
Yeah.
The senior out of Clovis, California is Temo Becerra, 5 homers. He had a big day yesterday, 4 hits and 5 plate appearances. They were all singles. It was a frustrating day for the Longhorns offensively, as that's outside. 17 men left on base. That's a full bus.
And 12 in the last 4 innings.
Stays outside, 92, but it's away. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, the one thing Texas did do yesterday is they forced Mississippi State to fire every bullet they had out of the bullpen. And if there's a distinct advantage today to one of these teams, it would be the bullpen situation that Texas currently has.
Two and one. Four years with David Esker, the transfer out of Stanford. You will not get one to see there.
He started every game last year at shortstop for Stanford. And when Rodriguez went down, it was Becerra that filled in at short for a couple of weeks until he got back.
Boy, what an aggressive move that we saw from Rodriguez, who's got 11 steals of his own at first base.
That is a massive lead. He had both feet out beyond what would be the dirt. It's not here, but the brown turf.
(3-1) with 1 out, and he will go back to first.
This is where if you're a left-hander, if you've got a step-off move, use it now.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that Rodriguez is comfortable with his reads against a left-handed Foster, but a step-off, a quick move that a left-hander has. When he's out that far, you got a real chance. If he hasn't used it yet, he probably doesn't have it. Jim Schlossnagle is going to come out and argue, watch the front foot. That's, I would assume that's what the argument is right here, the front foot of Foster. You got to imagine, it's an imaginary 45-degree line between the line directly to first base and the line home. And if you step closer to home plate off of that, by rule, it is a ball. Watch where that front foot ends up when he comes down. There's a hesitation in the middle of it, too. That may be more the discussion. You can do that when there's nobody on base, but in a spot like that, they could balk him.
Becerra with 5 homers on the season. He's got a good hitter's count, 3-1, and here it comes. And that ball is lifted to left center, and it is fairly deep now at the track, and there to make the play is Chance, and heading all the way back and hustling to first base with a dive slide back is Rodriguez. He picked that up late, looked at his third base coach, and about faced quickly.
This is pretty well done out in center field by Bryce Chance, because he deked him, and it made, from here it looked like he thought that ball was gone, just kind of ranges over to it, then right at the last minute. That's why Rodriguez was all the way around second base. With a clean transfer right there, they would have had a chance to double him off.
So Casey Borba now bats with 2 down, and the first pitch to him is in there for a strike. Did you think when he kind of laid up a little bit that
I
the
thought
ball
it was gone?
You did.
Yeah, just based on kind of his movement to it, but he was already close enough to it. He didn't have to go full speed. Did you see Drew Gilbert try that in the big leagues the other night?
I did, yeah. He did. Drew Gilbert, if you didn't see it, was out there in center field in the big leagues, and rather than catch the ball, say, chest high or above his head, he had his glove up there, and then he brought his glove all the way to the ground to see if the runner in third would leave the base early on a tag up. Didn't work. but similar, where your outfielder's trying to deke a base runner. Any hint of wind blowing out, and that ball was likely gone, but the flags are absolutely in a snooze fest. They are not moving.
Well, this place used to be massive. I mean, it was the fastest turf in the country and one of the toughest places to hit it out. It has become a little bit more offensive. Pretty fair ballpark all the way around.
Damian Deal is the first base umpire, and Schloss and the staff have been looking at him to maybe get a help on a balk call. Change up there makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes from Foster.
That's a good one. Changeup is his best off-speed pitch from a swing and miss standpoint to right-handed hitters.
Five times he is thrown over to first. And let's do 6.
Usually when you're on the mound, if a guy has one foot on the dirt, 1 foot on the grass, you feel like that's a pretty big lead. It is both feet on the green part of the turf.
There's nothing about the move that's indicative of somebody who's trying to actually pick him off, though.
I think part of it is he doesn't have very good pickoff movement, and that's why Rodriguez is so comfortable getting that far out. There's zero concern about getting picked off.
Knowing my own mental limitations, I would think that this is crowding my brain. I'm thinking so much about the guy at first, it's going to impact my ability to get the guy out at the plate.
And he got a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Just missed with that slow breaking ball. See if he comes back with a changeup here, 3-2. He's shown the confidence to throw it, at least to this point in the game, has shown really good control of it.
Who will hook him up with Dave Roberts and the coaching staff as well. He also said that the greatest time he had at TCU, he said, my favorite thing to do was basically hang out with the Texas Rangers coaches. He and Buck Showalter are very close.
Yeah.
So he said he'd go over there all the time when they were off, and during the day he'd drive in. And the owner of the Rangers, of course, would never be there early, so they told him to just park. I think it was Tom Hicks. You should just park in his spot.
Space.
Then he would bend the ear of Buck and Ron Washington and everyone else, and then he'd go home in time to watch the first pitch. Jam shot to the shortstop. Rodriguez up with it, and an off-balance throw to get him. Nice play, and the first out made by a defender.
We talk about Rodriguez and just the importance. Offensively, it makes a difference. He's hitting the middle of the lineup, but it just finishes this defensive infield. Now Schloss can have the defensive alignment that he wants when he has Rodriguez at short. Had to charge that when that ball was in on the hands. First out that's been recorded that hasn't been a strikeout yet.
Late on that, 91, man. It can get up on you. It stays there, and Parker is behind 0-1.
That is where Harrison wants to live with the fastball, is that up and sometimes just up and out of the zone.
That didn't miss by much, but it goes 1-1. The crowd would agree with the play-by-play guy who said that didn't miss by much. This will be the 70th pitch for Luke Harrison. Beating it.
Texas should be off the field right now.
They give the error to Becerra, which gives Valencius the chance, and he swings one underneath his bat to go 0-1. Doesn't get a ton of action, but it's quite clear when he gets a chance to play, he is an offensive threat
Yeah, Aiden Teal just a little bit banged up right now. The Virginia transfer, so Teal, who had played the first 2 games, not in there today. Potentially could pinch hit, but not in there today, and that gets Vivas into the lineup.
We mentioned the advantage that the Longhorns had today, just on paper, was the arms they had in the pen. And given where we are with the pitch count and the inning we're in, they're going to be used today. 74th pitch. Good one, though, and it's 2-2. Luke Harrison trying to pick up his third baseman, Becerra, who throw to first was short, and it's got Parker sitting there at first, who's 5 for 5 with steals, not going. Another one and another chance. Stayed down this time. A throw across, and it's right on the money. South Carolina, they swept, and he was outstanding. Not there, though. That pitch high and wide. Leadoff man is aboard for the second consecutive inning. So Brian O'Connor, he was for his hometown team, Omaha, Nebraska. He, of course, pitched for Creighton. Then he went to Virginia and absolutely built a program. Built a stadium, built a program, won the whole thing in 15. Could argue his 14 team was even better than the 15 team.
Yeah.
And then in his first year here, it has been, I think, Kyle, by all accounts, exactly what they had hoped it would be, if not more.
Yeah, Broad, I mean, had some guys from Virginia come with him. That has been a big difference. I mean, it was as home run a hire as you could possibly make. Brian is as well respected as anybody in the game. I do have to say, because I'll hear from his buddies, he's actually from Council Bluffs, so
yes,
he's right across.
That. Yep.
I'm sure he would say that too, but he was a big part of that Omaha run, played for Jim Hendry. I know you just saw.
Yeah, coming off of the series last weekend, Jim Hendry was on the plane.
The other thing about Oak is he's kept his staffs. Kevin McMullen has been with him from day one at Virginia and is now his hitting coach and associate head coach. Matt Kirby's been with him for a long time, came with him.
3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, this was the fear. When you talk to people about Charlie Foster this year, they say he'll go out and just deal for 2 or 3 innings, and then it just has one that you can't quite figure out where the control goes.
Indicative of someone who's a little bit aware right now that it's going sideways. Another 3-ball count to the 9-hole hitter. And that's a tough walk for a pitcher. He walks the 8th and 9th hitters in the lineup.
Yeah, now you get to the thumb. Robbins, Tinney, 1-2 in this Texas order have combined to hit 34 home runs this year.
The problem yesterday for the Horns, of course, KP, we talked about it. They left 17 men on. They were 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. And a big opportunity now for Aiden Robbins, who's among the best. A .410 batting average with runners in scoring position. There's one out there now. And he takes one down, 1 ball, no strikes.
When for Robbins, we showed those 18 home runs this year. His first 2 years at Seton Hall, and last year he had a great offensive year, but the first 2 years he had a combined 12 home runs. Had 6 in his freshman year, 6 in his sophomore year. Power numbers have really jumped this year.
Got a good one there, but he took enough off of it. It's a foul tip at the plate.
It's the one thing that they've talked about with Robbins, working with Troy Tulowitzki and this offensive coaching staff, is his ability to pull the ball with more authority this year.
they worked on putting a lot of weight on. He's much stronger than he has been. Runners are going. That's inside. Throw to third is inside the line. Safe at third base. And trailing Corville is Mansour there at second and third with nobody out.
Keep in mind, too, you get 2 freshmen on the base pass. You put a double steal on with 2 freshmen on the base pass with Aiden Robbins hitting. There's a high trust factor right there if you're doing that. Talked to Brian O'Connor before the game, but one thing he said with Texas, he said they're so well coached, but they do things on the base pass that you don't necessarily see every weekend, and that's an example of it right there.
Game can change very quickly. 5-0, 2 on, nobody out for Robbins. 3-1.
You know, what's interesting, and you can see the difference between the two, Luke Harrison gave up 5 in the first. No one moved in the bullpen. Now Foster still hasn't given him a run up, but has walked 2 in this inning, and there was already activity in that state bullpen.
3-1, dangerous pitch. And he throws a curveball and lands it to go 3-2 as the righty, Jack Gleason, a redshirt freshman, starts to warm. He lost him. Third consecutive walk to load him up. Sam Houston knows all about this situation. A ding-dong, pitch dead, grand slam for Carson Tinney in a 15-14 game.
A walk-off right there in a midweek game earlier this year for Tinney. Now bases loaded, nobody out.
1 for 6 with the bases loaded yesterday, and this seems to make sense after 3 consecutive walks with a 5-0 lead.
Justin Parker's a pitching coach for this Mississippi State team. He was the one main holdover on this coaching staff when Brian O'Connor got there. As Oak tells the story, when he took the job, he called Parker right away and said, hey, because he was the interim head coach last year. He said, would you consider staying? Parker said, absolutely. I love the place. I would love to stay. It's important to have some kind of continuity, and Parker has definitely done that on this coaching staff, now just trying to settle his left-hander down this spot.
Until you really get a chance to get inside a player's head, I mean, how do you explain somebody who's got a 5-0 lead and you just lose control? Hard to explain, right?
Yes, it is.
Carson Tinney, 2 for 8 with the bases loaded on the year, and they are loaded with nobody out in the third.
Pitch of the game right there for Charlie Foster. It's been 23 strikes, 22 balls. And obviously it's flipped consistently in this inning because he's walked 3 guys. First 2 were efficient, and he's just battling to try to find something consistent in this inning.
The 1-1 check. No, he didn't. That's a strike. It's 1-2.
Tinney struck out 49 times this year, but he didn't go out of the zone before 2 strikes very often. He has walked 37 times. So patient for the most part, couldn't hold up on that 1-1 change. It was definitely down and out of the zone.
What does Foster do here? Ahead 1-2 with a runner at third, and that he buried it, but a good job behind the plate by Milewski to make sure it doesn't get by. 2-2. Nope. 3-2, not close To me, the risk in that check swing was, well, I got him to do that there. I'm going to keep going down and down.
Well, and he came back with 2 straight changeups, what he had got the check swing and miss on. The problem is none of them were close enough for Tinney to offer. Now he's worked it back to a full count.
3 consecutive walks to start this inning. And that hit him. Run will come in. That's going to be Corville. Bases will stay loaded after 3 walks and a hit by pitch to drive in the run. And the tying run comes to the plate in Pack Jr.
This has happened a few times to Tinney this year where he opens up and gets hit. Last weekend he opened up, got hit in the ribs. A somewhat similar pitch. That time hand started but didn't go far enough. Hits him on that back arm. And not necessarily the RBI that he was looking for, but it still counts. Brian O'Connor will make the slow walk out.
Pack has done a phenomenal job of letting that ball run deep and going the other way with it. Inside's 2-1. One into right field. Fielded out there by Parker. 2 runs are going to score. He does it again. He's 8 for 12 with the bases loaded. And the freshman Pack with a punch to make it 5-3.
They were trying to crowd him with a fastball in the first at bat, and I think we're trying to do it.
And that was a rocket 105 miles an hour off the bat. So Pack with great speed, 16 stolen bases, is going now, and they're not paying attention. He's at second base. He's a freshman who plays like an upperclassman.
Think about what we've seen in this inning from freshman base runners. Saw a double steal at one point, both freshmen on the base pass when the double steal took place, and now Pack, he just keeps walking, and Gleason didn't pay enough attention.
Down to Ethan Mendoza. There's still nobody out. Tying runs are at second and third. Mendoza singled his first time up. That one gets by, but Tinney wasn't thinking about coming in because it stayed right there in that catcher square.
He may have had an assist from Danny Quicks back by home plate too, because that one looked like it got through the legs of Maluski and then caught the shin guard of the home plate umpire.
Nope, that's below the knees. And you can see Mendoza shaking his head. I know you want it, but you're not going to get it, and it's 3-0. That's another walk. That's the 4th of the inning to go with the hit batter. They'll stay loaded, as Mendoza will slow walk it down to first. And now Adrian Rodriguez steps up. KP, there were no walks issued by Mississippi State, and obviously that means Foster through the first 2 innings.
Yeah.
He issued 3. They got another one there from Gleason.
And hit a guy.
You can turn around really quickly here with Adrian Rodriguez. In the dirt, gets away. Tinney thinks about it, and Pack has to retreat at second base. It doesn't matter where you're sitting, you can feel how the momentum has shifted. In this building, on television, on a tablet. Rodriguez 3 for 7 with the bases loaded. Got one to hit, and he fouled it back. We already had one grand slam in the game. Bryce Chance did it in the first for Mississippi State. That's a close one, but it doesn't get it. It's 2-1.
Yeah, this happens so often. I mean, if you're not consistently in the zone, a lot of times you're not going to get that borderline strike, which that was. More action in that State bullpen. Brendan Sweeney, the right-hander, now up and throw.
Try to go low and in to Pack. He made him play by driving in 2. That one was also down and in to the lefty Rodriguez. Two homers on the season. Nobody out. And that one is into right field. In from third, now rounding his Pack. He's touching home. And it is a brand new ball game with the hits keep coming. A-Rod delivers.
Rodriguez got a breaking ball. He just missed a fastball earlier in the count that he could handle. This is a breaking ball. Again, similar swing to Pack. Just dropped on it with 2 strikes. Drops it in the spot that State can't get to. And it is now a 9-run third for Texas.
For Tinney, and again the 200th hit of his career. Aiden Robbins, a transfer followed by a transfer. Tinney was hit by a pitch earlier in this inning.
Robbins 11-12 this year in stolen bases.
.6'4", 240. They set up way outside. And that one came right back over the plate at 95, and it's 0-2.
You could see the glove of Maluskin, too. He was set up outside. That two-seamer came all the way back over. A backdoor two-seamer right there to get to 0-2 against Carson Tinney.
That's on a play down the right field line here at Dish Falk Field. Bunch of burnt orange all over the place. Sun shining, bright blue skies. Temperatures in the low 80s.
It's a pretty solid Sunday in Austin, Texas.
The wind is now picked up and is blowing out to left. Yeah, it's a pretty solid Sunday in Austin, Texas. I think you could say that about most Sundays in Austin, Texas.
I think that's fair. Yes.
Robbins dies. That was a pretty close one. We've had 2 innings in which runs have been scored. Mississippi State 5 in the first, and Longhorns 9 here. Center field, so a few steps back. Chance, he's there, and mercifully for Mississippi State and their pitchers, the inning has ended. But a standing ovation here at Dish Falk. The Longhorns score 9. They get only 5 hits, but they benefit from 4 walks, 13.
There is a very high trust factor in the lefty.
Which, when you think about it on a Sunday, is exactly the type of pitcher you want. Wire's been very good, 375 with runners in scoring position. Not there. Wicked breaking pitch, and he's gone on strikes for the second time today.
So 37 minutes in between in a half inning. What do? Well, if you're the starter, you go down there and you have yourself a little party. They even had the turtle box speakers out. Look, they got 3 of them. 2 whites and a orange pumping music as he's down there. I saw something last weekend that I had never seen in Texas and Vandy. Sunday day game. The Texas pitching staff was taking infield.
Yeah.
Max is hitting ground balls. They're taking infield because they were hitting in the cages with nobody else on the field. Vandy wasn't even out.
They did that again today. Did you hear the explanation why?
No.
So I'll share that because we sat there when they were doing it. By the way, Max got a little red tush too because they weren't exactly doing it the way he wanted. We'll share that story. Don't go anywhere. Promise red tush right after this.
It's like the end of an era, but I've had my biker moment. Plus, I listed this on eBay in like 2 seconds. I got a really good price. Okay, next.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Here you leave today and enter a world of cool kids.
A world of high scores. A world of cool friends. And playtime.
This summer, get a 4-day 4-park magic ticket from $109 per day plus tax.
All right, Luke Harrison, pitcher on the left, and Max Weiner, the pitching coach, who was out there hitting fielding practice to every pitcher on the staff before the game. Kyle said he'd never seen it last week. I'd never seen it. I didn't know who it was out there. I thought they were taking infield, but batting practice was inside. And the goal really is to just get the pitchers to not be just pitcher-oriented, meaning you can field. You used to do that at one point. And that's in there for a strike, which led again to Jim Schlossnagle telling a Buck Showalter story. He said Buck would do the same things, and they got some pitchers out there taking some ground balls. And at one point, Buck said, "What other position did you play?" Then the kid said, I didn't. This ball is hit pretty well to left center field off the bat of Pack Jr., but the park will hold it for a long flyout. And Buck says, you mean you never played anywhere else? He said, no, center field, everybody's played. When you're a pitcher, you're the best athlete. You play. Nope, never did it. So that flummoxed Buck, which is hard to do.
Yes. Max Weiner now, second year here, was the Texas A&M with Jim Schlossnagle before this. Prior to that, was the pitching development coordinator for the Seattle Mariners. So he had a hand in a lot of that starting rotation in Seattle right now. He's a brilliant pitching mind. And guy that doesn't necessarily do things by the book all the time.
No.
There's a lot of times, I mean, you'll see guys playing catch barefoot because he wants them to kind of get their feet, feel the ground. He's an awesome guy just to talk pitching and kind of anything else about it.
He's just really easy to talk to. I mean, the one thing about these staffs, as a player, you know, as a kid, as a parent, where your kid goes to play, your young man, you want somebody that can approach you and understand you more than just a baseball player.
Right.
Weiner is a great conversationalist, and it's not just about baseball. And both these head coaches and their staffs do the same thing. And Max is a man in demand.
Well, 4 hits last night for Becerra, all of them singles. 2 hits so far today, and both have been of this variety. Doubles down the left field line. The last one a line drive. This one just hooks outside of the reach of Ace Reese at third base. 2-out RBI. There was 2 outs, nobody on in this inning. The triple from Rodriguez, driven in right there on the double by Temo Becerra.
Fowler has appeared in 6 games. He's worked 6 innings. That's it. 2 hits and a couple of runs. At some point, one of these guys is going to have to give them length. 3 balls, 1 strike. Green light special for Casey Borba against Fowler. That is away.
Number 14.
5th walk of the day. And they're trying to do it with 2 down. Presley Corville, who bats 8th, walked. Then he grounded out to 3rd. Hard to crack the lineup. This is a catcher who they tried in the outfield. Then he hurt his shoulder doing that. Whoa. Their runners are both going. That's in there. They'll throw to 2nd, and a short hop scoop. Tag is applied late. The risk there is that somehow it gets by Garrett Fry, and the 3rd base runner, Becerra, would be allowed to score.
Yeah, watch Becerra's move too. That secondary started early. It was a hop and a hop. He was moving. It's a right decision to try to throw to 2nd. They had 0 chance to get Becerra, but Garrett Fry got beat up a little bit there too. Dropped that front leg in front of 2nd base. He got spiked pretty good.
In there for a strike. Take a look at that.
Yeah, Borba he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he's trying to go hard. He goes straight in, but when that leg is right there, he's going to go straight through it. That's 6 stolen bases for Texas today and 2 double steals.
And it started early from like Jump Street. When last play was Rodriguez 6'3", who was in the shift for the defensive out. Better. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That dude has been incredible. Dylan Volantis on the right. ERA right around 2. Last year, he was really entirely out of the bullpen. He may have been the most important guy on Texas' staff. This year has now pushed into the ace role.
Throws it from like standing on top of a ladder.
Yeah, it is. He throws the dark ball at you. There's guys that just do not hit the slider.
Popped up, playable, shallow center. And now standing there underneath, looking up into the sun, was Maddox Monsoor. There are 2 down.
So that's a list you'd like to be on. And there's 3 Longhorns on it. Sam Cozart, the highest strikeout rate. Ruger Riojas, who pitched yesterday, and then Volantis. That's a whole lot of swing and miss, and Cozart just a freshman.
Ruger's got a little Yamamoto in him, just with the amount of pitches that he has the ability to throw.
Arm angles, drop down. Fastball has really ticked up this year for Ruger Riojas. It's almost 2 miles an hour on average faster this year than it was last year. I would venture to guess that maybe there's 10 teams in the country at most that have used the same 3 starters.
Yeah, I know. That's
every
so hard.
weekend. And they've flip-flopped as far as who's pitching where, but it's been the same 3 starters for Texas since opening weekend.
That's down. Now, one other caveat to Mississippi State, KP, is that they do believe that Ryan McPherson's going to come back.
That's a big deal.
Like that's kind of an X factor that's hanging out there.
Yeah, that is a big deal. And Duke Stone threw it well yesterday.
He did. 1-2 for what likely would be Harrison's last inning of work. His with the exception of Pack Jr.'s single and 2 RBIs, but kind of a quiet top 3 in the order to this point. Slider there, he swings over. It's 2-1.
Well, but I tell you this, and that's kind of the question about Texas is how much offensive depth is there after you get through the first 4 or 5. Well, today there's been a lot.
Yes.
And if they get that production from the bottom third, bottom half of the order, this is one of the most dangerous teams in the country. They're going to pitch it.
Carson Tinney next up. First Robbins. And a 2-1 count from Pitzer. Runner goes, stolen base. Did he jam himself into the turf? That may have prevented him from getting to the bag. Mansour is called out at second. An awkward head-first slide that Texas wants to look at.
Unless he came off the bag, he's safe. Because watch that right hand. The left hand, the one with the mid-on, kind of jams into the foot, but he gets the right hand. I thought he got the right hand in there before that tag was applied.
Yeah, he's off.
He's off the base.
He's off the base.
The right hand got there in time. But I think the tag stays on long enough because then the right hand comes off the base.
And the left didn't get there.
Did
he keep the glove on?
Did we keep the tag on long enough?
Questions you ask in 2026. Did he keep the glove on? Safe?
We're safe to start.
Safe. I think we're out. I think we're out.
I think we're out.
We're 7,481 on hand. Looking up at the big screen. They see that right hand. They assume he's safe.
And he was. For a
second. For a second.
For a split second, he was safe.
Here we go, KP. Okay, yeah, that's the beauty of not having a microphone work, but you get the sign. Out. So for the first time this year, Mansour is caught stealing a base. Aiden Robbins, 18 home runs, leads this team. He's got a 3-1 count. Looking for 19.
Yeah, that's the kind of swing you want to see 3-1. You get a 3-1 fastball. Robbins trying to free it up, see if he can make it 11-5.
Aiden Robbins in his batting stance. He has that next. He has that sort of Soto front foot almost pointed back towards him.
Yeah. Keeps that lower half closed.
So 1 on for Tinney, and the caught stealing looms a little large. He's got a chance to have 2 out there, and that pickoff throw not in time. Have you heard about the chipper tradition they have in Texas?
What we got?
So if you're standing there in the dugout and a player says chipper during another player's at bat and he homers, well, then the guy who stands closest to you is responsible for buying you a meal at Chipotle.
What if you're wrong?
Yeah, no,
does it matter?
You get one whack at it.
One chipper a game. That's all we get.
Well, no, everybody gets one.
Okay.
But once you use it, you're out.
Okay.
So if I say chipper here and Tinney goes deep, you're closest to me. You'd buy me dinner.
That's why I just go stand by myself.
far away from everybody.
You're going to buy anybody anything.
I think the Longhorns would be onto that, and somebody would run up next to you and just say, "Chipper." Pitzer pumps it up there at 95.
I know that bullpen got used a bunch yesterday, but you look at the ERA numbers for these teams over the course of the year. State actually has a better ERA as a club. The McPherson piece is big, though. If they can get him back, and we'll see what role it is. I don't know how long it would take him to get back to where he could go 75, 80 pitches, but he's made just 2 starts in the SEC this year. Yeah, we showed a shot of Brian O'Connor. He has really embraced everything that comes with being the Mississippi State head baseball coach. I mean, it is. You were down there last weekend. It is. It's religious for a lot of that fan base. Saw Ron Polk today.
Good pitch there. Another strikeout. Tinney retired.
Slider there for Pitzer, and this is his best off speed when he can get to that power slider and started over the outside part of the plate, let the bottom drop up. Tinney just couldn't hold on. So Ron Polk's leaning in the dugout today, same spot that Brian O'Connor is leaning right now. And I walked over and talked to Pokey for a minute, and he said, "You know what? I was in this same spot 43 years ago, and I haven't been back since."
That ball is charged, but foul, and it was long.
It was in a regional. He said I was leaning right here, and I was looking out at Roger Clemens on the mound.
Really?
And I had my Vitas.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got your Vitas.
Yes.
He's our Vitas.
Of course. I think I may have shared that story last week with Ben.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Craig Kilborn on our Vitas Sabonis highlights. Yeah. Very good. Confusing, but very good. Loved Craig Kilborn. Still love him. Bryce Chance. He parlayed his SportsCenter into a late night comedy show, movie parts, although I'm sure he'd say starring movie parts. As big a basketball fan as there was. And maybe still is. Loved his Timberwolves. A little different start here for Hayden LeFew, as the first pitch he threw was tagged into center and ended up being a triple.
That was first pitch breaking ball, too. Left on left against the freshman. I mean, for everything, Texas puts a 9 spot up in the third, and it kind of looks like, okay, now they're going to run away and hide.
I know where you're
just
going.
4 runs down.
You're right.
This thing can spin quickly, and now they've got another base run.
And it's the same guys that did damage yesterday when it was a pitcher's duel that led to 6 runs late in the game, and Mississippi State won at 7-4. Maluski had the big hit, and then Wires went deep.
Chance probably the biggest threat to steal for this Mississippi State team. He leads them with 10 stolen bases this year.
10 of 11, he's off. Swing and a miss, and it's dropped there.
Pitch.
Yes, a great pitch to go on.
Pick the right pitch. They're the catcher in the country. He's going to throw him out right there. He's going on first move, so the minute that he sees any movement towards home plate, Chance is off and running. But then he got a breaking one. Combine those two, and there's no reason for Tinney to even throw it.
And now Maluski is 1 ball, 1 strike. .233 batting average, runners in scoring position. And once again, now working from behind is our pitcher, Hayden LeFew. Molosky, the pride of Wallingford, Connecticut, down at Mississippi State. 3-1.
Yeah, that's the challenge if you're State. You got to force LeFew to throw that curveball for what would be a
T strength record, KP, for leg press. He beat all the football players this winter. They got some monsters here in Texas playing football.
They are not small when they trot out of that bullpen. Kozart can't be too far behind.
No. Brett Crossland has worked himself into a jam here, 3-0 with Ace Reese on deck. And that is a walk. You got a chance to tie it with their best and most prolific home run RBI guy coming up.
Feels like this is the ball game right now. Reese coming up, bases loaded, 2 outs. You're facing the freshman at Crossland that couldn't find the zone right here, and Ace Reese has the ability to make it a tie ball game with 1 swing. 15 home runs, that's tops on this Mississippi State team. So are the 54 RBIs, and Max Wiener will make his way out to have a chat with his freshman.
So how do you look at it? If this is the ball game and you have the best hitter up, isn't this a spot that you want to have Kozart ready and coming in for?
Potentially, yeah. But there's a lot of trust in Crossland. Crossland's had a very good year. I mean, he hadn't been quite as consistent as Kozart this week. And 2 of their most important pieces out of that bullpen are 2 freshmen that they've put a lot of trust in as the season has gone on.
Well, it doesn't seem to be a lot of stress, and he is the ultimate team vibe guy. Great in all these social situations, friendly with everybody. An easy guy to both figuratively and literally look up to at 6'5". But here he is with the bases loaded, and Ace Reese and his 19 homers and 54 runs batted in, stepping to the plate. Five for 8 with the bases loaded this year, with 2 down. Gets the first one over, fluttering in at 79. Like that one, but he's behind 0-2. Letter high fastball.
Yeah, with that arm angle too, that elevated fastball mid-90s is really going to play up. It's tough to lay off of it. Now Ace Reese in an 0-2 hole.
Game is in the balance, 10-6. The 0-2 stayed alive. Then look at the body language of Crossland, nodding his head affirmatively, indicating he's very comfortable with where he's at and the way he's throwing.
Yeah, that was a cutter there. See if they try to come back and elevate that fastball. You got plenty to work with here ahead 0-2 if you're Texas.
The wind here at Dish Falk is blowing from right to left. Second hit, and he leads off the bottom of the 6th with a double.
Ethan Mendoza kind of likes hitting in that cleanup spot. Second hit of the game. This time elevated fastball. Great job just to drive it the other way. Shooting that right center field gap, 1 hop to fence out in right field.
Rodriguez strikeout number 1 in the inning.
And that pitcher slider is real. That's exactly what it was, and it gets underneath the bat of Rodriguez. Watch him swing right over the top, and that's got enough down. It doesn't have a bunch of horizontal, not a lot of side to side, more straight down right there. Rodriguez swung right over the top.
Yeah, and it didn't feel good either. You see his reaction after he swung and followed through.
And it's on to swings and misses that you'll see a reaction like that.
Becerra's had a big day today. 2 for 3 with a couple of doubles. A couple of RBIs for Temo Becerra, who's playing third base today. Popped up towards the dugout, drifting that way, and it will be right off the top of it. Might have been one of the easiest catches of a foul ball you'll ever see. You got it.
Got the candy hop right there.
It was so simple. No one else was sort of charging at it either. He just kind of waited for it to drop. Another good slider, 0-2.
Texas has not been afraid to steal third base today. Mendoza took a few steps right there towards third, then froze and came back.
Not going. This one lifted high down the line, and it is going to go just foul off the hill out there and left. Here we go. KP.
Kind of what they do here. Just throw them on. Just shoot a cannon.
There you go.
It really takes 7 guys to shoot a cannon. It feels a little aggressive, doesn't it?
If they tell me it needs 7, I'm going to go with it. We don't need that to be understaffed. Where were we? LSU when they blew the cannon off?
Yeah,
oh,
we didn't know it was
not
coming.
Prepared. Another strikeout. Pitzer's locked and loaded on this slider of his. Back-to-back punch-outs, so Mendoza stays out there at second base.
And a backup slider there too. This is a pitch that you don't necessarily intend to throw where it ends up, but right-handers can't handle it. The high inside slider. If you hang it, it's in the middle of the plate. If it backs up on you like that, it's just not a spot that right-handers are comfortable.
And he is relying heavily on it. Yeah, there's a good chance, right, that barring sort of an SEC tournament victory, LSU and Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I mean, LSU, it seems this way for both right now. They're going to have to either win the SEC tournament to get in or make a run to the finals. Even that may not be enough. Yeah, I wonder how long it has been since both LSU and Vanderbilt missed the tournament. It's got to be, I mean, for Vanderbilt, they missed the tournament essentially every year before Corbs got there, but it's got to be 40 years. Some good stories out there this year, some clubs that maybe didn't expect to be where they are that are there. Boston College, one of those. It's top 4 in the ACC right now. Nebraska scuffled a little bit this weekend, lost the first 2 to Ohio State, but Nebraska was in a position to host going into this weekend.
That's a good take, yeah. Well, the idea that some of those teams, the idea that Nebraska isn't going to stumble, every team in college baseball like stumbles. You lose 2 in a weekend, like that's going to happen.
Except one.
Well, exactly.
That's the Bruins, who going into the day were 23-0 in the Big Ten.
But they're not a surprise to be where they were for professional baseball. Well, you can get them. And that's happened in a few cases.
I mean, think about if Major League Baseball ends up going to a 5-round draft instead of a 10-round draft. Guys probably not going to sign a free agent deal if you got a chance to come back to a variety of these programs.
He said
on a full ride.
Even if it went to 10 rounds, he thought it might make a difference. Look, the other thing Major League Baseball is, we all know, staring the barrel of is a potential work stoppage. And this one is hit pretty well to left, but foul. And that would open the door for more opportunities for the college game to move front and center.
I mean, we've seen it happen, but the biggest change in the relationship between Major League Baseball and college baseball in the last, I would say, 10 years is the understanding of Major League Baseball that college does a really good job of getting guys ready.
Yes.
And you know what? It's cheaper from a Major League standpoint. And you got a chance to see guys 2 or 3 more years before you have to take a chance in drafting them.
And there are so many aspects to it, whether it's facilities, whether it's nutrition, certainly coaching, travel. A little bit like the Champions Tour. I mean, you get 3 games or 4 in a week, not 6 or 7.
Yeah. And you get done with this one, the charter's waiting to take you back home, just like you.
Yeah, no, not again, no. Another free base.
You realize when you play Texas that if you're going to beat them, you just cannot give them freebies because they're going to take advantage of it. They're going to force you into the strike zone, and that has gotten to Mississippi. It's 3-0 split just to try to steal a strike.
I'd be hesitant to kind of go right back there. But he did, and this one is sky high. Wires gives way to Valencius. That felt dangerous.
Yeah, and he didn't miss it by a ton either. It's what wind there is, and it's picked up a little bit. It's going to carry anything out to left field. And he didn't need any wind help if Tanner gets it. That time just underneath it.
The 1-1 to Vitas Valencius. There is that fastball very late on it. And look out over there in the Longhorns dugout. You ever think about screens on top of those dugouts or extending them up a little bit for foul balls like that?
I mean, it would make sense.
Too far inside at 96.
Least we finally got to the point that they extended the screens all the way down.
Yeah.
At least past the dugouts for fans.
And in Major League parks, they go all the way from foul line to foul line, pole to pole.
Could see Kozar move into the starting rotation next year. That's kind of what they envisioned him coming out of the fall as a starter, and he's had a couple this year. Did have 3 different starts, but now he is squarely in the back end of the bullpen role.
Couple of fastballs missed. Here's another 3-2, and he lands that one. And this one is down the line, and it is just foul by about 3 feet. The velocity had something to do with that. Valencius twice has fouled it off to the right, laid on it, and that one just a tad late. But he missed an extra base hit.
Look over at Jim Schlossnagle, and we talked about Brian O'Connor and building the program in Virginia. Schloss did the exact same thing at TCU.
Oh.
He took it to Omaha 4 straight times.
They were going head-to-head with each other all the time.
Yeah, seemingly, yes.
Oh, boy. Just above the letters, and that'll be a leadoff walk.
Right call. You could see Carson Tenney. I think he was trying to sell it a little bit right there, too. He's not afraid to do that.
I'm going to throw this to third.
If I no, all right. I didn't hear anything yet.
Yeah, Bryce, that's my man.
Now Bryce Chancellor's had a good game with a grand slam, and that ball's just not coming down for him. He missed badly. You get your 7-hole hitter hitting 363 with a granny and a double today. The misses have been very consistent so far for Sam Cozart, in with the fastball and up with a breaking pitch.
You know, I was talking to Carson Tenney a couple weeks ago and just asked him, who taught you how to catch? Because I think he's fundamentally, he's very solid back behind the plate. And what he said was, you know, I grew up with Cashel Duggar, who's the starting catcher for UCLA. They both grew up in Castle Pines, Colorado. And he said, we kind of taught each other how to do it and made each other better all the way through. I mean, you got 2 starting catchers on 2 teams that are in the top 5 that both grew up learning the craft together.
Still high. So I wrote this as a note down to ask you. He talked about his technique. He said, stay under the ball as late as possible, let it travel to me and work through it. I try to move the pitch to the zone. I end up moving it a little further because I try to be as quick as possible. And then I'll tell you how he concluded his thought after the 3-1. Back-to-back walks. Interesting start to this inning for Sam Cozart. So he ended that statement by saying, and KP, see if you can follow, he said, I like to think of it almost like a train station. It's on the same route, but it's going to have different stops along the way.
Never heard it.
Yeah, quite like that, but maybe
described quite that way.
You grow up in Castle Pines, you know, these are some of
it's
the
not a bad place to grow up, by the way.
No, these are some of the thoughts you have. So 2 on, and the Rays and Red Sox and the Cardinals and the Padres get set to play Thursday on ESPN. You can catch them both on the network, and they're available to stream on the ESPN app. Rays, Sox, 7 Eastern. Padres, Cardinals at 10. You know, we talked just briefly about Major League Baseball kind of looking down the barrel of a potential work stoppage. And the idea that the Padres sold for, did you see the figure?
$3.9 billion.
B.
Yeah, with a B.
With a B.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about that? What did Steve Cohen pay for the Mets?
Not that.
I think it was just over $2 billion.
Yeah. So what is that worth?
More than he paid, I'll tell you that.
5-run deficit. Cozart, after a quick talk, needs to throw some strikes. Kevin Maluski. It's 8-9 again. These guys have been really good. And another one that's just up. Is it one of those contagious days, KP, where even the strike throwers aren't throwing strikes?
Starting to feel like it, because Cozart usually is that. I mean, for the stuff that he has, he's been a pretty elite strike throw this year.
It's not close.
And they're not used to getting anybody up in the bullpen when Cozart comes in the ballgame. It's usually everybody take your spikes off. He's going to take us home. But I would bet you, yeah, you're gonna see a few of them start moving around now. looked like it was Thomas Burns, the right-hander who's pitched in each of the first 2 games this weekend for Texas.
He's lost that. I'd reluctantly use him if I had to. 3-0. Are we looking at 3 consecutive walks out of one of the better arms out of the bullpen? Not yet. 85-mile-an-hour get me over slider to go 3-1.
That takes guts.
Both of them.
3-1 curveball right there when he walked the last 2 guys and stole a strike now to get it back to a 2-strike count. Big spot right here from Maluski at the plate.
Shift on against the righty from Connecticut with second baseman Mendoza shaded to the left side of the bag. 3-2. He got a.
Cozart is a pitch away from getting out of the inning.
Yeah, and that was hit hard enough that it made it fairly easy for Rodriguez and Mendoza to turn it. And now Wires. He's landing that one now. He has not been able to command the fastball, so we've seen, what, 4 consecutive breaking pitches.
And he'll do that. I mean, he throws mid-90s, but the fastball he still throws less than 40% of the time.
Let's just say it's a battle.
Well, it is, but now he's got to battle with the top of the order. Now you turn this order over, and you look over to that on deck circle, and that's what State is waiting for right now. To figure out a way to get Ace Reese to the plate in this inning.
Garrick Fry 0 for 3 with a walk, with Ace Reese, who got punched out on the call that sent Brian O'Connor back to the locker room after he was thrown out. That's the guy on deck. First, it's Garrick Fry. Named after the iconic Lou Gehrig. Big time baseball family. And he deliver. Man on the corners.
That's a really good take. That's a really good take, because out of his hands, it looked like that cutter was going to stay in the zone, and Garrick Fry just followed it all the way in to get himself into a plus count.
Sam Cozart on the struggle bus, got the benefit of a double play, now trying to get out of a jam here in the 8th. That's been his go-to pitch to even the count 2-2 against Fry. Yeah,
because you don't have to slide right there. You slide, you make that throw a lot easier.
Three and 2 to Ethan Mendoza. A single, a walk, a strikeout, and a double. Get the batting average up to .281. He's got his 50th hit now of the season. And Booth trying to get the first man in the bottom of the 8th. Won't do it. Here are your projected national seeds, 16 of them. And of course, UCLA has been at the top. Texas currently sits there at 3. The one that's been the bit of a surprise, I think, and there are numbers that support it, has been Florida, sitting there.
Well,
because of the losses they've had.
Yeah,
the wins
RPI,
deserve it.
And they're non-conference. I mean, they swept Florida State. beat Miami both games they played. How about KU, by the way?
Kansas has been a great story.
They swept Arizona this weekend.
Yep.
I mean, Kansas is essentially a lock to host. I think they're winning the Big 12 by 3 or 4 games right now. Kansas has never hosted. And the last time they went to the postseason back-to-back years was 93 and 94.
One and two to Adrian Rodriguez. Part of the problem for Mississippi State pitching today, which again was advertised coming in, that they did not have the depth that they would likely need to beat a good Texas lineup. 6 of the 8 leadoff hitters have been on. So you're in a hole to start the inning 6 times.
Yeah, the only 1, 2, 3 inning they had was the first. After that, there's traffic in every inning.
Yeah.
Talk about State's 2 weeks. They go home, they'll get Auburn next weekend, and they finish in College Station. This Texas team will go to Knoxville next weekend, and then get Missouri at home.
He said, "I'm making my trip to Hoover for the first time." What's the philosophy? I mean, is it fair to say that every team goes there to try to win it? Because I'll be honest, we've been to SEC tournaments, and that's not necessarily the case.
I think it depends. It just depends on the situation that you're in going into it. I mean, when Ray Tanner, when South Carolina won back-to-back years, I think they were 2 and out in the SEC tournament each of those 2 years. So it's not always an indicator of what's going to happen next, but it is a blast. Everybody in the league gets in. Quadruple headers Tuesday and Wednesday to get things going. All working towards selection Monday on Memorial Day. We're almost there.
Last ups, everybody. We are going to the 9th. Mississippi State needs 5 to tie and 6 to get a lead.
Live for the bases loaded, for the full counts. Live for the away games, for the strikeouts. Live for the high fives, the pop flies, and the moonshots.
That's my girl.
There's my slugger.
Live for the big moments and the little ones. Live the game like never before.
With Popeye's new $5 Faves menu, you can get this, or this, or this, or this. And no one's stopping you from getting them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
KP, Carl Ravitch back here. Last ups for Mississippi State. A game that Brian O'Connor was booted out of. First time that he has been thrown out since 2015. And Sam Cozart has not had a smooth ride down the mountain, but he got a big double play in the last half. The back side of his hat is tipped up a little bit, which is different. He'll take the mound. Have you seen that look before?
On him, yeah. I don't see it very often. He's got a headband under there.
There's a heck of a lot of personality on this team, that's for sure. Ace Reese leads things off. And he landed a fastball at 94. The pitch that had been so reliable goes astray. It's a breaking ball.
Yeah, it's just a tick off today. Now, Kozar can find it, and when he does find it, he's probably not going to lose it again. But
28 pitches, only 11, now 12 strikes. But the biggest one was right here. The called third strike to Ace Reese, which led Brian O'Connor to lose it and then get thrown out by Danny Cricks, the home plate umpire. And he wasn't the only one. Eric O'Shea also got an earful from the Mississippi State headman. Reese got good metal on that to center, chased it down. That's a web gem for Maddox Mansour. What a catch.
It's just his 10th start of the year for Maddox Mansour, and this is a pretty good break right here because off that left-handed bat, if that ball moves, it's going to move away from him. That cut spin that'll go away. Well, Jim Schlesinger talked about it before. I mean, it's
unbelievable.
We're going to make a change, and we'll see what happens.
Got to improve a little bit defensively out there. We need Robbins' bat in the lineup for sure. He's a sure-handed outfielder, but maybe a half-step difference, and that may have literally been the difference on the catch by Mansour.
Because they had him shaded to the pull side, too. I mean, he had to go a little bit further to get to it. Watch how quiet the head is, too, when he dives. It's a pretty good route right there by Mansour in center field.
Good fastball there. His best maybe of the day at 94. Noah Sullivan, there's 2 outs.
Well, that was a hit for like 100 years in baseball.
Exactly.
And not anymore. Had him shaded to the pull side on the infield. Ethan Mendoza just stand there waiting for it.
First place on number 33, Blake Wheeler.
Little different from Kozar this inning. A couple of balls hit pretty well, but they were outs, and now getting ahead of Blake Beavis. That's pulled foul, a strike away. Couple of breaking pitches spoiled here by Beavis.
I think you're looking at 2 teams that have legitimate shots to end up in Omaha. And I was talking to this Mississippi State coaching staff today, and they said it just this feels super regional-ish when you come in for this. They're going to have 2 straight more weekends of that for State.
2 spun it too far outside. With all due respect, what series with the top 8 teams in the conference, if they're playing each other, don't feel that way?
100%. Kevin McMullen was saying that before the game. He's like, I had heard about the grind in this league. Now I understand.
Davis battling down to the last strike. And he continues to. Good fight right now between he and Sam Kozart. KP, I'll give you an over-under of foul balls in this game. 55.
Over.
60. 61.
What do you think a typical game is? 30?
That's a good question.
Kirchen, line 1.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I'd say, I would imagine between 20 and 30. And I think 20's low. 2 strikes, you're just about locked to get fouls. And this one to end the game. And the Longhorns, after being down 5-0, rally in this one with a 9 spot. And they carry on to an 11-6 victory.
2 of the best teams in the country. Ended up being a great weekend, too, on a perfect day at Dish Falk. Rav, good to hang out with you, buddy.